Today we continue with the 9 stages of meditation, or the 9 stages of mental development, and see if we can finish the summary today. You've got the summary in front of you. So there are 9 stages in meditation. The first stage is mental placement. That is, after you have followed the personal instructions that you have heard, then you correctly apply the method for focusing on the object of attention. So everybody should have an object of attention in meditation. What is that object of attention? The object of attention is the breath. Our breath in and a breath out. And how do you focus on that object? You can imagine yourself as a small little molecule sitting inside your nostril, and you are feeling the air in, the cold air. When you breathe in, is in, and when it breathes out, is out. So that's your object of attention. And you must have that object of attention. If you don't have that object of attention, then you have other objects of attention. What are other objects of attention? Many. Multiplicity. The lanterns, the column, the floor, the people, the sound, the fragrance, all kinds of objects of attention. You don't want those. Those are the objects of attention of the temporal world that entice your senses. And now we only use one object of attention, no other objects. You don't have any other objects, and also your thinking is not pulled away by the object of attention. Because when you focus on the object of attention in the outside world, where your senses correspond to all objects, at the same time you have mental functions arising in you. What are those mental functions? Greediness, hatred, jealousy, shame, remorsefulness, you name them. Many mental functions arise. Hatred, violence, negligence, fraudulence, envy, you name them. But now you're in this meditation hall. Your object of attention is only one. You place your mind on that object of attention. That is the first procedure. If you don't even follow this first procedure, you're not doing anything. You just sit there with no object of attention. Or maybe you have object of attention inside of you. You're sitting in there doing nothing. You're thinking of your home. You're thinking of your job. You're thinking of what you're going to do on Monday. And what did you do yesterday? And all these other object of attention. We don't need those. We only need one object of attention. And that object of attention, Lee already mentioned, is right here at the nostril. Or many other objects of attention. It could be the belly button, the 3 inches down, where we call it the ocean of breath, the chakra. You can concentrate on that chakra. 3 fingers below the belly button. Or on a flame, on a candle flame. If you have a candle flame, or on water, you have your comfortable and object of attention that you are used to. Your object of attention could be the name of a Buddha. Amitabha Buddha. That's my object of attention. But you've got to have an object of attention. Why do we have that? Because otherwise we will have multiplicity, uncountable object of attentions. Then how can we practice mind control? How can we practice the meditation? We cannot. So you use one single object of attention, and then we place our mind on it. That's mental placement. Is it that simple? It's that simple. But it's not simple. It's not simple. And so instead of being distracted by many uncountable objects of attention, you only have one object of attention. That is called mental placement. And of course, you got to mind the 3 adjustments when you're meditating. The 3 A's of meditation. You adjust your outside up to the inside. The 3 A's, you remember the 3 A's, the 3 adjustments? Adjustment to the body. The first adjustment is how do you sit, how do you cross the leg. And if you don't know how to cross the leg, you just put both legs on the floor. And you got to have comfortable attire. You cannot wear tight jeans. You cannot have tight belts. You cannot wear perfume and cologne. Or your clothes should not be mixed with a fabric softener, because then it would be too smelly. Your next door neighbor wouldn't be able to meditate. So make sure you don't wear pungent shampoo. Otherwise, you may be asked to leave, because you're affecting the whole group. Make sure. So that's adjustments. Before mental placement, you've got to have all these 3 A's. Adjustment to the environment, to the body. Socks, of course. And if it's in the wintertime, maybe you need a blanket to cover your kneecaps. You got to have a cushion underneath it. You cannot be sitting just next to the opening of an air conditioner. The cold breeze will be shooting at you. You cannot meditate. You cannot meditate in front of a TV. You cannot meditate just next to a telephone. You cannot meditate with your cell phone turned on inside your pocket. There's so many things you've got to watch out. That's the first adjustment to posture. Adjustment to breath, of course. You've got to breathe naturally. And then adjustment to mind, which means that you have to... What is adjustment to mind? Right now, we should get more details. What is adjustment to mind? These are the 9 mental stages of development. That's adjustment to mind. So when we say adjustment to mind, we just simplify it by telling you the mind should be putting on the object of attention. But now we're telling you in more detail. Adjustment to posture, you already know. Adjustment to breath, we already have told you the object of attention is on your breath. And right now, adjustment to mind, what is that? We didn't tell you in detail. But this is now, here, right here. Now, this moment, I'm telling you, the first stage is mental placement. Place your mind on that object of attention that you already have created for yourself. And then is continuous placement. After you place your mind on that object of attention, you got to do it continuously. You cannot do it with distraction. The first few seconds, okay, I'm concentrating on my breath. And then after maybe half a second, no, I'm thinking of my home, I'm thinking of my car, I'm thinking of my job, I'm thinking of past experiences, I'm flashing to my past memory, I'm projecting for the future. I thought about many, many other things, but not on my object of attention. Then you're being distracted. Then you're not continuous. Then, strictly speaking, you fail. You fail your test. And some people fail in the first minute. Other people fail maybe after 5 minutes. And some people fail maybe after 2 seconds. Did you fail or did you pass? If you pass, for how long? For 5 minutes? 10 minutes? If you continuously can keep your object of attention for half an hour, oh, that's powerful. Because that is called mind concentration. Just put this religious connotation apart. If you talk to a teacher of positive thinkers, and you said, teacher, my positive thinker teacher, I can concentrate for half an hour. He will be surprised. If Sonny can concentrate for half an hour on his reading, he'll be an A student all the time. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, up to universities. If you can always keep a continuation of half an hour concentration, take a break, another half hour concentration, take a break, you only need to study 3 hours per day and you become the master of what you are studying. I'm not talking about religion. Throw that word religion away and talking about daily life. So what am I doing? What are we doing in here? We're talking about coming into a religious Buddhist temple, and we're talking about something that is not religious. The word religion is a fictitious name. For the sake of telling you about a Buddhist teaching, we use that word Buddha. You can call it something else if you want. So, continuous placement, that means you place your mental, you concentrate on your object of attention continuously. But then who can do it continuously? I cannot do it continuously myself. Even if I can, how long? Well, if you can continuously do it for 1 hour, oh, you are an expert. If you continuously do it for 1 hour and then you continuously do it for 2 hours and for 3 hours, oh, it's almost like maybe 1 in a million people that you can do it in 3 hours continuously. Probably the true story I told you about the uncle of that taxi cab driver, he could do it continuously for 3-4 hours. Maybe he could do it continuously for 1 month. Did I not tell you that true story? That taxi cab driver, when I was in Kuala Lumpur and I was going to the airport, and he said, oh, after talking for a long time and very boring, you see how conversation between taxi driver and the backseat drivers, and everything about scenery, about airport, about all these. But suddenly, he said, my uncle, he practiced in Bhutan for 15 years as a yoga teacher. And last month, he bid us farewell in the ceremony, and then he went into a cave that he already prepared. And we witnessed the cave door closed, a big boulder, he can't push it open. Inside the cave there's nothing. No kitchen, no pantry, no food, no water. And then he said, I'll be meditating in here for 7 years. After 7 years, you open the cave door. If I die, just let me die. If I'm still alive, I'll come back with a message. He's still there. He's still in the cave. Imagine someone who all of us value life so dearly, and to him, he can master his own life. He could stay in there, no food, no drink, for 7 years. There was a Bodhisattva, I forgot his name. Is it Mantris Bodhisattva? He was with the Buddha at the time of the Buddha Sakyamuni, 2,600 years ago. And he went into the cave. He said he would come out when the next Buddha comes out. The laughing Buddha with the big belly. When you enter the temple, you see the big belly Buddha, Buddha of happiness. He will be the future Buddha coming after Sakyamuni Buddha, historical Buddha of human civilization. When he would come, we don't know. But this Bodhisattva said he will come out from the cave to join the next future Buddha. He's still in the cave. So, we talk about mental placement. You place your mind on an object of attention. We talk about continuous placement because We need to be continuously doing it, but who can continuously do it? So the third would be patched placement. That means, okay, I concentrate on my object of attention here. I got distracted. It's not continuous. So I got to correct it. The monkey's gone away. My monkeying mind, although it's on a leash, because I use that leash, which is that object of attention, to leash the monkey. Now the monkey's gone away, but I still have got that leash in my hand. I pull it back. I pull the monkey back. Okay, monkey honey, sit still. Sit still. So pull the monkey back. The monkey sits still. Okay, I patched it. I corrected it. So that's the monkeying mind being corrected by pulling the leash back and ask the monkey to stay put. So that's patch placement or correcting placement. That's the third. You have to do a lot of correcting placement because you have a lot of a distraction. You need to correct it all the time. So don't get bored. Don't say after coming to the temple for 1 month, 4 sessions of meditation, and you ask yourself, so where am I going? Is it what I have to learn? That's easy. Where am I going from here? You're not going anywhere. No place to go. You go within. You go inside here. You don't have to ask, oh, Reverend, where am I going from here? Every time you told me the same thing, every time Lee is saying the same thing, 3 adjustments, 3A, where am I going? What's next? If you always want to know where you're going, you better go to UBC. UBC with step number 1, take this introduction 100, and then 101, 102, 103. This is not what it is. That's enough for your whole life. You find yourself. You find yourself. You find your entity, your reality, yourself, not the teacher. So, you got a mental placement, number 1. Number 2 is continuous placement. Number 3, you leash that monkey back. That is correcting placement or patch placement. And then you go to number 4. What is number 4? Number 4 is, of course, the monkey goes away again and you leash it back. But all these other previous procedures, the monkey has gone a mile away before you know how to push it back, put it back. You're meditating, you lost your thought on the object of attention, and you don't know about it, or you already have slept. You think you're in meditation. Some people meditate and is sleeping all the time, and you thought he's in trance. I'm in a trance. Oh, when I wake up, then I wake up from a trance. No, you wake up from your sleep. So, because that monkey has gone to sleep, it's gone away to sleep. How far? It's gone home, 2 miles from here, West Vancouver, Coquitlam. It's gone home on the sleeping bed. So far away, the monkey has gone so far away. But as you practice more and more, the monkey is not too far. About right at the temple's door, you could put it back. Right at the parking lot, you pull back the monkey. The monkey's not too, he's close. That's why we call close placement. In other words, your concentration, you concentrate and then maybe, then you lose your concentration. But you discover it immediately because it's just so close to you. Your awakening mind, your awakening ability is so close to you, then you can, the monkey is not too far out and you can release it back. That's called close placement. What are we talking about now? We're talking about adjustment to the mind, the third step that Lee's been talking about. Adjustment to the mind, this is all it is. But we cannot go through so much detail in the introduction. I'm telling you right now. Nobody can go give you so detail right at the start, then we don't have time to practice. Now, this is adjustment to the mind. And then we go to stage number 5. Number 1 is mental placement, number 2 is continuous placement, number 3 is correcting placement or patch placement, number 4 is close placement. Number 5 is taming. Taming is the monkeying mind is under your taming control already. And some people, you know how he treat the monkey? He treat his own mind. He said, I'm going to concentrate on this object of attention. That's my breath. I'm not going to let it go away. I must try. Come on. I must object of attention. When the monkey gone away, he pulled it. Because he's so tight with taming. He's so tight with what he's achieving. He's so eager that he pulls so hard on the monkeying mind that the monkey is dead. He applies too much force on the monkey. After all, he's just a monkey baby. Why do you mistreat the monkey? You cannot tame it so that he's dead. So you must be gently controlling it, letting it go, controlling it. So you concentrate on your breath and it's gone. Don't get angry about it. How come I'm so stupid? How come I couldn't do it? Don't blame yourself on it. Just slowly and gently and with durability, with endurances, do it day after day and after day after day. It would come. Don't force it. When you're growing corn, you put your shoot down and then, no, I want to grow faster. I want to put it out a little bit, 1 inch per day, so that it grows faster. You think the corn will come? You pull the shoot. You pull the wheat. You let it grow. Taming. The taming process is natural. The taming process is not by forceful means. That's what we call taming. And then when you are distracted by subtle, very subtle forgetfulness, in other words, the taming becomes so subtle and so refined that you really need inner strength for the taming. And as you do all these, the 6th stage of mental development will come, that is pacification. So, pacification, that means you have occasional distraction. The distraction is not too often now, occasional distraction. You come to a pacification, at a point of pacification, which means that when you are distracted by even subtle forgetfulness, recognize this immediately and stop it short. And on eliminating it, generate the power of effort to lengthen the flow of attention. That is uninterrupted by hindrances. No more hindrances. No more hindrances, you come to pacification. What are hindrances? What are the hindrances in meditation? Do you still remember the hindrances of meditation? The 5 hindrances of meditation? When you are doing meditation, there's so many hindrances to you. The first is sensuality. Your feelings, emotional feelings, your feelings on the past, your feelings on impurity or impermanence, your feelings about suffering and emptiness, all this sensuality feeling. You also have hindrances of anger, the hatred in you, or the unbalanced feeling between hatred and love. And also sloth and torpor. Sloth is laziness, because we all tend to be lazy in meditation. We don't want to work that hard. And of course, you cannot just like my example on pulling the monkey so hard. You have to do it consistently without agitation and worry. So agitation and worry is another hindrance. Doubt is another hindrance. So these are the 5 hindrances that you should watch out for. So when you are in pacification, that is number 6 in your mental development. So as you develop this, you have less and less distraction. Then you come to a point that is no more distraction. The monkey won't go away. The monkey simply sit there. It won't go away. And that is complete pacification. The monkey is sitting there with complete pacification. It doesn't go away. But the monkey is still moving and, a little bit agitation while sitting in there. So you continue further. The no distraction even go finer and finer with subtlety. You come to one-pointed attention. That means even the monkey, because if the monkey is sitting there, maybe he's moving and he's scratching, doing all these gestures, but at the one-pointed attention, the monkey simply sits still. He's a quiet baby with no distraction, sitting still, not even peeling the peanuts. The monkey needs something to eat. Have you observed what the monkey's behavior? I observe monkey behavior. He can't sit still. If he has nothing else, no peanuts around, he will just pick up a grain of soil and mump on it. He can't sit still. But at one-pointed attention, the monkey is going to be a meditator now. That monkey baby is a meditator, like you. He's sitting in there doing nothing. He's sitting with complete one-pointedness of mind, complete pacifications, and he's still. At that stage, at this stage, the meditator can sit for 5 or 6 hours without distraction. He's on his way to get to samadhi. And then the final will be balance placement. A complete balance placement of mind, where there is no duality. There's no thinking of good and bad, beauty and ugly, beauty and ugliness, rich and poor. There's no duality of thinking. It's just one concentration with a balanced thinking, balanced placement. In the 8th stage, you still need to apply efforts. In other words, mental placement number 1, you need to apply efforts to it. You need to work hard at it. A lot of distractions. Continuous placement, that's number 2, you need to apply efforts, and there's also a lot of distractions, but not as many distractions as the first one. The third is correcting placement or patch placement. You still have a lot of distractions. You still need to apply efforts. And then close placement, of course, efforts, but less and less distraction. Taming, you still have to apply efforts to it with less distractions. Pacification, you don't need that much efforts, but you still need to apply a little bit, and the distraction is getting less and less. Complete pacification, you still need efforts, but you don't need as much efforts as before. One-pointedness of mind, one-pointedness attention, you still need efforts, but very little. Distraction, almost none. When you're at balance placement, it's spontaneous. You don't need efforts, no more distraction. In other words, you don't need to say, I need to tame my mind. At the final 9th stage, you don't need any efforts. You immediately, in meditation, at that point, you already have achieved samadhi, the highest level in Kamadhatu. And when you are in that meditation, power would come. Talking about supernatural power, that's where you get supernatural power. But our objective is not to get supernatural power, but that supernatural power is within you. You may be able to predict the future. Some people may be able to reflect on past lives too. You know your past life. The power is there. And as you continue more and more and more, you go to the first dhyana level. When you're at the fourth dhyana level, the Buddha was at the fourth dhyana level, and then he achieved the Nirodha Samadhi to become the Buddha. That is the mind's finer and finer development. So in meditation, there are 6 powers at the same time when you're practicing mental development. We call it the power of hearing. Power of hearing is you listen to instructions. That is the mental placement, number 1 mental placement stage. And that is the power of reflection, which is in a continuous placement. And then the power of mindfulness is in close placement. The power of vigilance is in taming and pacification. And then the power of enthusiasm is complete pacification and one-pointedness of mind. And enthusiasm is you apply so much effort to it that you become successful in controlling your mind. And then the final with the power of acquaintance. The power of acquaintance is you're already acquainted with samadhi. So when you were talking about, at this point, do you know that when we're talking about the Buddhist teaching, you can actually experience the Buddhist teaching yourself? And when you experience this, you realize wonders of the mind. So actually, when you're doing meditation, you are exploring the treasures inside of you. You are exploring your treasures inside of you. So I can imagine people would say, I'm at home and I'm bored. I have to watch television. I have to listen to the radio. I have to call someone. I'm bored. How can you be bored? Because you have that treasures in you that you can explore by meditation. You sit at home, you're bored. Why don't you open up your mind treasures and look into it? Step by step. You'll find your own treasures. Immeasurable treasures, boundless thinking, boundless vistas. There's no end. There's no end to the rainbow. They say at the end of the rainbow you find a pot of gold. Nat King Cole, I remember. But at the end of there's no end to the rainbow. So don't say you are bored. You're belittling yourself when you say you're bored at home. Open up the treasures inside you and do step by meditation to find your real mind. Don't get mixed up with Mara though. When you meditate, you say, I want supernatural power. I want to get something. If you meditate with something that you want to get, you'll get into acquisition. When you get into acquisition, you are not at it. There's nothing to be obtained. Remember the Heart Sutra? Form is no different from emptiness. Emptiness is no different than form. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. There's no eye, no ear, no eye, no ear, no tongue, no body of mind, no object of mind. There's no perception, conception, volitions, and consciousness, because there's nothing to be obtained. When there is nothing to be obtained, that's the treasure. When you don't attach anything, there's treasure. When you attach to things, it's attachment. So don't call your friend that you are bored at home. Don't say you turn on the TV because you're bored. You have a lot of hours in you at home. Why don't you explore your own treasures? When you found those treasures, it's all yours. Nobody can take it away. Not thieves, not the government, no tax. Tax-free. So I finished the 9 stages of development. I'm not talking about it anymore. So next time when we mention there's 3 A's to meditation, the first is adjustment. Adjustment from standpoint A. Adjustment to the body, you know. Adjustment to breath, you know. Adjustment to breath is to find an object of attention, then you know. Adjustment to mind, think about these 9 stages.